Hi guys, welcome to DIY Art Blast. So I'm gonna paint another canvas painting and I'll show you step by step. Okay, so I'm gonna show you all the product that I'm using as I go. So for this painting I'm using this brush. It's a flat brush and these are the color I will be using. So if you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe to my channel and also like this video if you enjoy watching this. And I'm also using 8 by 10 size of flat panel, and I'm gonna put the link down below just in case if you are interested using the same kind of a product. Alright, so now here I started applying white acrylic paint on half top of my canvas. So as you can see, I am actually applying a very thicker coat over here because this will help us for the next part, which is like adding more colors and blending it to all together with the white. Now if I apply a thin layer, it's gonna dry very quickly, so that's why I apply just a little more thicker than I usually do. And these are the color I'm using, but just in case if you like to change it up a little bit, you can also use maybe different color if you want to. Alright, so as you can see, I didn't wash my brush, we don't have to, and I took a bigger glob of this yellow. As you can see, I just applied very randomly, a little bit on the bottom, just a little bit on the top, a little bit, and I'm just gonna clean my brush now. And then I'm gonna add some red paint, and if you want to know the name of that red, again I'm gonna put the link down below, you can check it out. Okay, and as you can see, I just take a little bit of red. This red is super dark, so I'm just adding this kind of a line first, and then I'm gonna go on those line to kind of a blend it with the yellow and red. So the more you go, it's gonna blend more. So I always say this, go as many time as you can or as you want to, so that it really blends a lot. Like, it's gonna be so much easier if you do that way. And as you can see, I didn't really apply any of this red on top because I really want to make that area more darker. So I'm just gonna work on this bottom area right now. You can also use orange color if you want to. I mean, when we mix orange and the red together, it becomes orange, right? So I mean, you can also use that too, but again, I'm just randomly applying this red here. And when you feel like you apply a lot of red here, just add a little bit of more yellow on that area and just a little bit of white there, and then it will be lighter there. Okay, and now I started applying red just on the top. As you can see, it's slightly more darker because I took a little bit more red, and I only go like 4 or 5 times there because I don't really wanted to make it too light there. Alright, so here we are done with our sky. Now I clean my brush, and then I'm gonna work on the bottom area now. So I feel like I really want to make this yellow a little bit lighter, so I add a little bit of white there and then blended those two colors a little bit. So as you can see, from start to end, I'm only gonna be using left and right stroke. If you want different texture, you can try different strokes if you want to, but I'm just keeping it very simple so everybody can paint it, right? Alright, so now I'm gonna start working on the bottom area. Okay, so I'm gonna repeat the, to be honest, same thing. Add a little bit of like white everywhere first, and then add a little bit of yellow, and then a little bit of red then. So again, in case if you are enjoying watching this video, and if you are also painting with me and you are enjoying, make sure you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel to see more of this kind of step-by-step painting videos. And if you have anything in your mind you want me to try, I love to try new things, so just let me know in the comment, and I will see if I can do that or not. But I love to try new things. So yeah. Okay, so here I'm all done applying this white. Now just like I did on my sky, I'm gonna do this on the bottom, which is like adding a little bit of white here and then add a little bit of yellow there, and very randomly again I'm just gonna add this red. And as you can see, I really wanted to make it lighter, kind of a pink color there, so I'm not using lots of red here. But on the bottom I actually am gonna be using whole lots of red because I really wanted to make that area more darker because my top of the sky is darker, so that's why. So I didn't really apply a lot of white earlier on the bottom because I wanted to make it darker. So here I am just applying this red on the bottom first. I'm not touching the white area right now. And then after I'm done applying this red, I'm not gonna take any more paint. If you feel like you have too much of red, you can clean that brush or use a paper towel to clean that, and then just go between those area, like between red and the white, to like blend those colors together. So again, the more you go, it's gonna blend more. And I feel like the top of this sky is still too little lighter, so I'm just going back one more time on top. So wherever I work on the water or the sky area, I usually use very like light pressure. I don't like press these bristles like too hard on my canvas. I like kindly, like very lightly I'm touching my canvas, like not pressing too hard. So I'm gonna leave the link of my website down below. Please check it out. It's a new website. I just made it. So yeah. So the bottom area is gonna be the water area, and right now, both the top and the bottom both are looking almost the same. So let's slightly I'm gonna make a little difference than what I did on the top. So to do that, all I'm doing is using those same colors starting with the white, and then I'm going left and right adding these kind of lines, and something like this. And I did the same thing with the red, and I'm also gonna do the same thing with the yellow. But as you can see, the top and the bottom is slightly looking a little different. On the top I almost like blend everything. On the bottom I am not gonna blend too much. I am keeping those like lines that you can see here. Alright, so here I'm all done with that water area, and now I'm gonna start adding some mountains. Okay, so for that I am gonna be using little gray color, so not too light, not too dark, maybe just a little medium gray color. Okay, so for this I'm gonna be using black and white, so I'm almost taking like an equal amount and mixing those two colors together. And I'm sure we all have a different background color, and for some of you it might be more darker, for some of you it's very light. Just make a little dot where you want to add your mountain and see if it's dark enough or not. If not, add a little bit more black, or if you want to make it lighter, add just a little bit of white there. Okay, so as you can see, I already add my mountain, just to be honest, very randomly, like started from the center of that area and then create like little curvy lines, and then here's my mountain, and then I also filled everything inside. All right, so now I'm just adding plain black on just one side of my mountain. So on my canvas I'm adding on just the left side here. So it is almost like shadow, so wherever you want to like add shadow, you can add these colors. As you can see on that first mountain there, I also added a little bit of on the bottom area. Alright, so now I'm gonna add a little bit of red into that same mixture, into that same gray color. So if you are out of this color, just take equal amount of white and black, and then tiny bit of red here. And this is the color I am gonna be using, and I'm just making some dabs on those mountains just to add like a little color there. And I'm not going everywhere on those whole mountain, just on maybe on just some of the area. So yeah. And when I work on this mountain, and when I have to like change the color. I am actually cleaning the brush in between. All right, so here I am using white paint, and I'm just barely like touching canvas and just adding some dabs on top of the mountain. And I'm also gonna be adding a little bit of this white on to be honest, like very randomly on the mountain. All right, so now I'm still using my white paint. Now I'm just gonna start adding some clouds. So this is how I'm just adding my clouds. You can definitely add any shape you like, but all I'm doing is dabbing, dab like that, and create like long triangle kind of a little shape, and then fill everything inside. So yeah, so again, triangle, fill everything inside, and that's all I'm gonna do. So I'm just very randomly adding this little shape everywhere I want to add my clouds. Now you know how the clouds are, right? It's not perfect, so you don't have to like create this kind of shape every time you add. You can also create your own shape, like, I mean, you know how the clouds are, right? So I also make another video on how to paint cloud. If you like to check that one out to get more idea, you can also check out that video. I'm gonna put the link down below of that video. So if you are enjoying this video and you want to learn more paintings, I have so many painting added to my website, and I also sell painting kits. If you want to learn some new paintings, and we also give you like step-by-step painting video. So all you have to do is just follow my easy steps on like how to paint that specific painting, and you can check out my website and you will get some more idea there. Alright, so now I'm gonna move on to my next part here, and this is the water area right now on my canvas. Now I'm gonna add some like a ground area where I'm also gonna add some trees on top of that. So let's add that first. So for that, I'm gonna create that same color that I used for the mountain, but slightly more darker than that. So for that, I am mixing here black, a little bit white, and just a tiny bit of red here. Okay, and then I mix everything together, and I'm just gonna add like this kind of a little shape there, and I'm gonna add some small trees on top of it. So leave a little space between your mountain and this area, and I'm gonna add one more down here, and I also add some more of that black color there, just for the, again, shadow kind of a thing there on just the bottom area mostly. All right, so now I'm gonna start adding the shadow of those mountain on the reflection, I mean, on the water area. Okay, so I'm using that same color actually, and as you can see, I'm adding just a little of this color on the bottom of that mountain area, just going left and right very lightly, like I'm touching this canvas, like I'm not pressing too hard again. And I also did the same thing for those little small hills that we have on this canvas here on the front too. Okay, and yeah, that's all. Now I'm gonna start adding some trees, and for this I'm gonna be using my smallest brush. All right, so for this I'm just using black paint here, and I'm just gonna start adding the tree trunk first. As you can see, I'm starting from the bottom, bringing my paint up, and that's all I'm gonna do for that one tree. So I added like whole bunch of lines there just to get some idea where and what size I'm gonna be adding those trees. So that's why I just added the trunk first. And most of these tree trunks are like touching each other, so I'm not like leaving any space, or like I'm not thinking a lot, because this is way far from here and you cannot see clearly, right? So that's why it's a little messy looking kind of right now. All right, so now I'm gonna start adding those leaves. So I'm starting from the tip, start dabbing, and I'm gonna come down, and as I'm gonna come down, I'm making those lines the trees more wider on the bottom. So yeah, something like this. And by doing that, I'm coming all the way down to that ground area and also like touching that ground. So that's all I'm gonna do for all the tree trunks I just added. And yeah, and here I feel like I also want to add like one tall tree at least. So here I add the tree trunk first and then made that tree a little bit taller, and I also made couple more tree next to that little bit more taller. Alright, so now I'm just gonna repeat that same thing on this bottom of this area that I have here. So again, same thing, I am start adding some of the leaves, little bit wider on the bottom, and you if you like, you can make some of these tree a little bit more taller if you want to. Alright, so I also added a little bit of this black on just bottom of this area, just again for the little darker shadows. So yeah, all I'm doing is like little dab there. I'm not like brushing there, but yeah, one last big heel I'm gonna add right here. So I use that my same small brush and black paint, and I leave a little, maybe an inch or half on the right bottom area, and then added that nice curvy line there. So I feel like I want to use bigger brush now, so because there is a bigger space to cover, so that's why I'm using bigger brush now. I'm just gonna fill everything on the bottom using that just a plain black there. And as you can see, I am grabbing some white and the yellow from the background because my background is still little wet, so that's why, but that's okay. Okay, so yeah, that's all I'm gonna do here, and now I'm gonna start adding some trees. Okay, so for that I'm using my again white, this is a white brush, and I just added a nice big tree trunk there, and I also overlap my mountain there, and this is how I'm just gonna dab to add those leaves. So for this, I'm just gonna use tip of my brush and start dabbing at least on like 3 to 4 inches on the top, and then I'm just gonna use side of my brush because I have to cover more area. So this is how I'm just gonna like dab and create those kind of almost like a zigzaggy line. But as I'm gonna come down, I'm just gonna make this tree more and more wider. That means I'm gonna make more bigger line than the top lines, if that makes sense. So yeah, and I'm gonna come all the way down, touch the ground area, and then I'm gonna be using couple more colors here. So don't worry if you miss some of the spots, or you feel like you added a very small tree here, you can always make it big if you want to. Alright, so now I'm gonna move on to my next color, which is green. Now I am gonna clean my brush, you can if you want to, and I'm gonna do the same thing again, starting from the top, and I'm just gonna start dabbing it. Now here is one thing, the black color that we just added, it's still a little wet, so every time you add 1 or 2 line, your green will turn slightly darker green or maybe more black. You just have to take more green every time, but whenever you feel like your whole brush become too dark, just clean your brush and start taking more green again, and do the same thing one more time, and that way your green is gonna be green and not too dark green. All right, so and I made this tree a little bit more taller, so you can do it this way if you want to. And I feel like my tree was looking like too straight, so that's why I'm going on just some of the branches and making them coming like out, like some of the branches are sticking out than the others. So yeah, okay, so here I'm gonna start adding one more tree. So I actually am doing the same thing. I added a little bit of black first, and then I'm just gonna add some green. I'm gonna fast forward this part because it's almost the same thing, but this tree is a little bit smaller than the other one. Okay, so now I'm gonna start. So here I cleaned my brush. Now I'm gonna take some white and add some snow on this tree. So okay, so I'm not going like everywhere because I really want to see some of the black and some of the green too. So I'm thinking like I'm taking one branch and adding this kind of a little line there by dabbing it, and I'm gonna leave a little space, and I'm gonna do the same thing. So something like this, I'm just gonna like dab dab dab, and also do the same thing with my other tree. So adding the snow on this tree wasn't my original plan, but I don't know why I just added, but it looking already like, I don't know, I love this. So that's why I also add some snow there. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm also adding a little snow on my ground. So just like adding some of the bigger dabs there. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna do with this painting. Here I'm all done. So since I add this snow on this two tree, I also have to like add a little touch of white on the ground on those two bottom of those hill that I have there. So I also added a little white there too. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed painting with me, and if you do, make sure you give a thumbs up to this video and also subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time for another DIY or the painting video. Bye!